Shalom, 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 yasha'Allah. This your boy, Bahasham Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is going to be called Eve's Humbling. Eve's Humbling. All right, first and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, call Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi. All right, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who have ruled well through the Spirit, and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Another mighty shalom to all you Akim out there laboring on the highways and on the hedges and on the unicorn, which is this internet, pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom to you all as well. All right, like I said, today's lesson is going to be called Eve's Humbling. All right, and I came across this article that says, April jobs report Black women lost 106,000 extra jobs, most among all workers. All right. So it says new eye-popping data shows what is not often cited in the nation's labor force. Fresh numbers reveal that unemployment for Black workers this year is steady rising. It says especially for Black women. All right. A disturbing trend was identified in the latest information from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Among other findings, the report disclosed that the jobless rate for Black women rose to 6.1% in April, a full percentage point surge from 5.1% in March. In contrast, the unemployment rate for white women in April was 3.3%, unchanged from March, and 4.6% for Hispanic, the same as in March. Women in other groups generally don't face racial or gender discrimination like Black women, a factor in the jobless rate discrepancy. Says, for perspective, the jump of Black women was among the highest of any group and much greater than the unchanged overall 4.2% nationwide unemployment rate last month. It says Black women saw their unemployment climb by 106,000 in April. According to the digital platform HBCU Money, the number of Black women employed is at a 5-month low, and the number of unemployed is at a 5-month high. Currently, the overall Black unemployment rate rose to 6.3% in April from 6.2% in March, reflecting the third straight monthly rise and the highest surge since January. It says for Black men, unemployment in April was 5.6%, down from 6.1% in March. And it says, and the BLS reported that the overall economy added 177,000 jobs in April. William Michael Cunningham, an economist and owner of Creative Investment Research, told Black Enterprise that the number of unemployed Blacks increased by 29,000, reaching nearly 1.4 million, while the total labor force fell by 7,000. It says the unusual nature of this increase in Black women's unemployment is a testament to a direct result of the anti-DEI and anti-Black focus of the new administration's policy, he says. This is demonstrably damaging to the Black community, something we have not seen before. It says for Black women, Cunningham says the latest numbers show those seeking work are not finding jobs, make gaining employment more difficult for them. He added that Black women losing DEI roles and federal government jobs fueled by Trump-led policies impact them because their joblessness is growing. Those women are also purportedly to account for a larger share of federal employee roles that have fallen in the last 3 months, right? As the Trump regime has acted to cut the workforce. The BLS report disclosed the federal government employment fell by 9,000% in April and is down by 26,000 since January. Based on another report, minorities are frequently discharged first from jobs when the economy declines. Andre Perry, a senior and fellow at the Brookings Institution, has stated the layoffs at the federal level where black people are more represented. It says the impacts of the tariffs, particularly on small businesses that hire black women, and just the overall use of DEI as a slur, which may be contributing to the lack of hiring of black women. All of these factors are probably at play. It says further, Cunningham says less work at the sectors like retail and hospitality that generally employ a high number of black women could also be fueling more joblessness for that group. It says this creates a double whammy for the black community because the localized economic impact in major cities result in a decline in the hotel stays, meals eaten at restaurants, and less business activity in industries heavily populated by black workers. In recent years, scores of black women have started their own businesses at a brisk pace, and with unemployment cited as one of the reasons why, also possibly facing larger unemployment rates, black women have shifted to entrepreneurship to generate their own income, anchor their livelihoods, and use business ownership to gain more career control, right? And ultimately, it's all the doing of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, all right? You know, you can blame it on this, blame it on that, right? But ultimately, it's all, you know, this is all being done, right, to humble Eve, man. Okay, you see how, you know, in this society, right? What does the scripture say? In this society, if we go to let's go to the book of Jeremiah, right? And now Eve is starting to see, right, that her bestie, right? What is that? 31. 20 or 22. Here we go. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, and verse 22. It says, "How long will thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, have created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man." All right, and we see that that's what's going on in this society. Okay, and now, right, the tables are being turned, things are being flipped back. All right, to the right order. Okay, you know, right now you have Eve with her bestie, you know, Esau, Big Daddy Esau, and you know, they were in charge and running this thing. You see how when Nero came in, and he cut all that stuff. He cut that DEI stuff. You know, hey, no, you know, we're not doing all that. You know, so you know, this is the great humbling of Eve. Okay, let's see. Let's go to Isaiah, right, 32, and let's go to verse number 9, right? It says, "Women of Jerusalem warn." It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease." All right, I don't need no man. I got me a job. I work for the government. You know, this, that, and the other. I got me a city job. You can't tell me nothing. Blah 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 blah. Right, and you see in these latest videos, you know, the one that Elder Apostle Tahar did with the lady. She's like, she'll work for free. You know, just give her room and board. You know what I mean? She'll work for free. Right. This is what's going on. All right. But this is, you know, this is what's about to start happening. Okay. But it says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease." Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. All right, and the Lord is is getting ready to and is starting to humble these women. Right, they're seeing like this, this women's movement, this whole feminist thing, right? It's not it. All right, and there's an order, right? That was set up, okay, from the beginning. All right, but Eve wanted to be besties with Esau, right? What is that? Slovakia. I always get those mixed up. Okay, Isaiah. Let's stay in the book of Isaiah 3 and verse number 12. Right? It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, right? Esau, right? And women rule over them, right? And see, Esau and Eve, that's been their whole little, tandem thing, man, right? The Esau knows, he can use Eve to try to manipulate, Jake, right? But we see now Jake is waking up even in the world, and they not dealing with Eve no more. All right, and Eve's power is leaving, and now she's getting ready to be humbled, right? And her little bestie, you see now, is turning against her, right? Turning against her, right? Cutting all the federal programs, cutting the government jobs that you had. All right. So what do they have to do now? Now they have to, they got to fend for themselves, and then they get on social media and try to figure out why Jake don't want to mess with them no more, right? For all these years and things that's been going on, right? It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and the women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. Okay. When we go to let's get the order real quick. What is that? 1 Corinthians, I believe, 11 and 3. Yep. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach. All right. So over man is Yahawashi. All right. And the head of the woman is the man. Okay. So over the woman is the man. Over the man is Yahawashi. And it says, and the head of Hamashiach or Yahawashi is the Most High, right? Yahawah. Okay, so the order goes from top down: Yahawah, Yahawashi, man, and woman, right? That's the order, right? But you see how it's been twisted in this society, right? Where the women are now trying to rule stuff, man, right? You got women trying to rule stuff, all right? I seen a video. You had the one they had Eve was supposed to be playing, quote unquote Christ, and I'm just like, see, this is the madness, and this is why this place has to be destroyed, right? And this is why, guess what? The Lord is getting ready to humble Eve, man. This is Eve's great humbling. It's coming, right? It was started, right? And we know, hey, it's about to get crazy, all right? And you're gonna need that covering, all right? You're gonna need that to be in that order, okay? We go back to the book of Isaiah, right? Isaiah 32, right? In verse number 2, it says, and a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land. All right, because Eve is going to understand that she's she's out of order, and guess what? She's gonna need her covering, which is her man. Okay, and ultimately, the men of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay, when all hell breaks loose, and that's the thing, man. I've been watching these news. Hell, even the men ain't safe. You watching the stuff that's happening on these New York subways, right? And so if the men ain't safe, hell, we know damn well, the women ain't safe. All right, so you're gonna need a covering. You're gonna need that protection. All right, that comes with a man. All right, and especially a man of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right, what is that? Isaiah, is that 13, verse number 12, I believe. Salakia. Isaiah 13. We'll go here. Verse 12, right? Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12, it says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Ophir. Okay? So a man of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is going to be like precious gold in these days. Right? Those men that have been rejected, those men, that Eve is rejected and tossed aside and said she could do her own thing, right? Those men that, people drive past and like, what are these cats doing? Looking like, superheroes or Power Rangers, whatever they want to call it, right? Those men are going to be like precious gold. You're going to be trying to look for them, the Power Ranger outfits. You're going to be trying to look for that, all right, in those days, because you're going to understand, that Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is dealing with them men, okay? And the women, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that safety. They're looking for that protection, all right? And the scriptures tell you, right? Isaiah was getting into it, right? Isaiah chapter 4 and verse number 1, it says, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. Why? Because the man is the prize, right? The man is the prize, right? Shout out to you women who know how to share, right? Shout out to you women, you sisters out there who know the order and know about sharing. Sharing is caring, right? Because that's what's going to be happening in these last days. All right, you got to humble yourself, okay, or be left behind. All right, you're gonna be like Tracy Ellis Ross, damn near 50, 60, still sitting there figuring out why you can't, but you don't want to get in order. Okay, Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1, it says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. All right, I want to get this in the NLT real quick. It says NLT, it says, and in that day so few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name so that we won't be mocked as old maids. Okay. What was another one in here? Look at the easy. It says, in that day 7 women will catch one man and they will hold him. They will say, please, they will say, please take away our shame. We will buy our own food and we will wear our own clothes, but please let us belong to you. Okay? Because the woman is a possession, right? And they, listen, folks, they get, heard about, these scriptures and how they are. Hey, it is what it is. All right. And you're going to need a covering in those days. Okay. You're going to need protection. Right. And it's going to be, it says 7 women. That's just a complete number. Okay. Brother might have 3 women. Another brother might have 20 women. Who knows? All right. And we know that this is before the kingdom. All right. Because guess what? Our women are not gonna be, in despair in the kingdom. They're not gonna be like, take our reproach. No. Okay. So we know this is talking about, you know, during this time, during this time of Jacob's trouble, right? And we see, right? I seen a video. It was a pastor's wife who, went and found her husband another girlfriend. You know what I mean? Hey, the Lord is putting the spirit to humble Eve, right, and to get into this order. All right, because this time of great affliction is coming, right? And the Lord is setting the stage. Okay, this is the Lord's movie. All right, and He's setting the stage for it, and He's humbling, right, Eve. All right, so hey, either you get in order or you move to the side, okay, and be left behind. All right, it's simple and plain as that. All right, so I just wanted to do this, quick lesson, right? I just saw this article. Thought it would be, good edification. Lord's will, this was edifying, right? But with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Call Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad. A mighty shalom to the 144,000 men. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days. Right? Another mighty shalom to the rest of the elect out there, right? Men, women, and children, right? Those who be obedient and in order in these last days, all right? And understand, that the man is the prize. The man of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is the prize, all right? Because that order is Yahawah, Yahawashi, man, and woman, all right? And it's time to get in that order, right? Or be left behind, all right? So with that, I'll say shalom.